MMA by far.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's ever going to top this until something does.
I don't think anything's ever going to top this, man. This was... I keep sitting back going, wow. Wow. Like literally just saying wow. When you've seen so much in your life, to sit there going wow.
You can't Can you? No. Nossa, bicho é doido. Mano, olha isso, velho. Gente, é louco. I fucking can't believe. I'm sorry. I can't believe.
Main event. I just want to get your thoughts.
It's one of the greatest fights you'll ever see. It was incredible. And especially when you got a guy 8-1 underdog and then comes in and does what he did tonight. The body shots that Ilia hit Gaethje with in that round, and then Gaethje gets through it. Ilia's in the hospital. He's busted up. I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has broken orbital. And my plans for him are to go home and rest.
Justin Gaethje just defeated Ilia Topuria by round 4 TKO to corner stoppage at UFC Freedom 250 on the White House lawn, and is now the undisputed lightweight world champion at 37 years old. I can't believe I'm saying these things. I thought Strickland's upset against Chimaev was going to be enough this year for the MMA gods to start making logic true once again in this sport, but no. Justin Gaethje puts a whooping on Ilia Topuria. Fair enough, survives a nightmarish round 2, but I had Justin Gaethje winning this fight 3-1. It wasn't even like Ilia Topuria was clearly ahead the whole fight and Justin Gaethje just broke him in round 4 and then Ilia Topuria quits on the stall. I had Gaethje up 3-1. I thought he won the first round very clear. It was competitive. Ilia was landing big shots. What am I saying? The whole card was insane. But to finish like this, I can't wait to break down the rest of the card. But this fight, Ilia comes out. He's wandering into jab.
He wanted to quit.
It's almost like he's trying to not touch. And that'll do it.
We won.
20,000, bitch. No, it's 200,000, bitch. 200,000.
200,000 apiece, bitch.
200,000, bitch.
200,000 apiece.
200,000 a pop, bitch.
200.
Overall thoughts on how the entire fight played out?
I was counted out so bad. He's very good. My liver still hurts right now. The body shots were crazy. I mean, he was really, really fast. But when he didn't get the finish at the end of the second round, I think it really took his spirit. He really backed himself into a corner saying he's going to be so dominant. I said it. When we go to the second round, you're going to be like, what the f-? When we go to the third round, you're going to be like, what the f-? I proved that tonight. When they look back, I think my career is going to age like...
He's the undisputed champion of the UFC. This is a shocking result. And I have to apologize because I don't usually make picks and I was quite confident in my pick. I thought Ilia Topuria was going to win. Justin Gaethje won that fight fair and square. It appears as though Ilia's corner called off the fight going into the 5th round. And it looked like going into the 4th round, the doctor was going to call it off. In fact, it seems as though he did actually call it off at one point. He shook his head. He said Ilia couldn't see. And then Mark Goddard almost like convinced him to keep it going. It was a weird thing. They gave him more time. Seemed a little bit odd, but in the end, the right man won. Justin Gaethje looked a lot bigger at 155 than Ilia. Justin Gaethje can take a punch. In the first round when Ilia was hitting him like a Mack truck, Gaethje was taking the shots. No one takes those shots from Ilia. And Ilia was wearing some damage, and all of a sudden, he's bleeding, and all of a sudden he's getting rocked, and all of a sudden he's cut, and all of a sudden he's, swelling, and all of a sudden he can't see. And we've never seen him compromise like that before. We've never seen him in trouble, struggling like that.
The MMA world woke up to a scene nobody expected to witness. On the White House South Lawn, before millions watching worldwide, the unimaginable became reality. Justin Gaethje, a 37-year-old veteran many thought had already peaked, stepped into the octagon against Ilia Topuria, a fighter so dominant, so sharp, so seemingly unbeatable that many viewed him as the future of combat sports. When the chaos ended, the blood dried, and the corner stopped the fight between rounds, Gaethje emerged as the new lightweight champion. Not merely a lightweight champion, but the undisputed king, an American icon who had just delivered one of the greatest upsets in UFC history on the most prestigious stage possible. This was no bizarre fluke. It was not a lucky strike in the opening seconds. It was a fourth-round breakdown that left Topuria unable to continue. His corner ended the fight because their fighter had nothing left. The reactions afterward, from Dana White to the president to every analyst who doubted Guy, revealed exactly how massive this moment was. The entire sport stood stunned. Yet what made this outcome even bigger than a normal upset was Topuria entering UFC Freedom 250 as something rarely seen anymore, a fighter surrounded by genuine mystique. He was undefeated. He carried himself with such precision and confidence that he appeared untouchable. He had moved up 2 divisions and dominated elite opponents in both. Experts were already debating whether he was the pound-for-pound best fighter alive. He represented the future. He seemed inevitable. And almost nobody in the MMA world truly believed Guy possessed the answer to what Topuria brought into the cage. The story heading into Sunday already felt written. Guy had revived his career by winning an interim title earlier this year. But facing Topuria was supposed to be an entirely different challenge. This was meant to be the night when the young, flawless striker from Georgia proved the old generation could no longer compete. Every statistic, every expert prediction, and every piece of conventional wisdom pointed toward a Topuria victory. Then Guy arrived and completely destroyed that script. Justin Guy brought something on Sunday that often gets overlooked amid all the technical discussions surrounding MMA. He delivered violence. Pure, relentless, unforgiving violence. For a fighter who has battled through wars across nearly 20 years, who has absorbed punches that would finish most careers, who has endured against some of the fiercest punchers in combat sports history, Guy entered that cage carrying the kind of mindset that simply cannot be taught. He understood he was the underdog. He understood everyone had counted him out, and he never cared. The only thing that mattered was discovering a way to break Tapper's determination. The way Guy carried out his strategy was calculated violence fueled by nonstop pressure. He never retreated. He never respected the striking range the way everyone expected. Instead, he marched through punches, accepted punishment, and returned it with even greater force. His combinations arrived quickly. His footwork eliminated escape routes. His chin, already tested by the fiercest hitters in UFC history, let him absorb shots while continuing forward. Every time Topuria attempted creating space or resetting, Guy was immediately there, closing distance, attacking again, refusing to allow the fight unfold under Tappera's preferred conditions. Ilia Topuria, meanwhile, arrived with every quality that had made him dominant for years. His accuracy remained. His striking stayed crisp. His fight IQ appeared obvious whenever he found openings and made Guy pay. But against someone like Guy, precision by itself sometimes cannot be enough. Eventually, when facing a fighter willing to absorb damage while delivering even more, when competing against someone unconcerned with stylistic matchups, because breaking you matters most, the entire equation changes. The fight truly became clear during the second round. That was when Topuria's control slowly began fading. He found early success, yet as the round continued, Guy's pressure kept growing. He landed increasingly. He hurt Topuria. The Georgian's composure, long considered his greatest strength throughout his career, gradually started cracking. Whenever your entire identity depends upon remaining calm, appearing untouchable, and staying 3 moves ahead mentally, losing that becomes devastating. Guy recognized it. He sensed his opponent weakening, then raised the intensity. By the third round, what everyone watched was no longer a competitive contest. We were witnessing a fighter in Guy who had discovered the formula and refused to slow down. He landed combinations, slipped his head offline, and most importantly, forced Topuria to pay for every exchange. Topuria continued responding, continued landing punches, but the momentum had entirely changed. His face began revealing damage. His movement became slower. His available options kept shrinking. Then between the third and fourth rounds, the doctor and Topuria's corner needed a discussion about whether continuing remained possible. Topuria insisted he was ready. The doctor granted approval, but sometimes in MMA, when injuries become that severe, when punishment keeps building at that pace, the real question is not whether you can continue, but whether you should. The corner reached their decision. They threw the towel. Guy remained victorious, while Topuria failed to answer the bell for the fourth round. What happened to Ilia Topuria inside that cage reached far beyond simply losing one fight. This marked the collapse of an aura. For the first time throughout his professional career, Topuria discovered what it felt like being broken down, overwhelmed, and unable to control his own fight. His precision failed against Guy's relentless pressure.